My name is Francesca Clapcich. This year I will be sailing with Team Malizia in the Ocean Race Europe. I'm 37 years old. So I was born and raised in Italy, in the north of Italy, and then I moved to the US a few years ago. And I just become a dual citizen a few months ago, so I'm Italian-American. I grew up in a small town in the northeast of Italy where sailing is pretty much like a national sport. Everybody in the summer goes sailing and most of family has boats, and my family had a really small boat called like Mezza Mela, that means half of an apple, and it was really tiny. But you know, they brought me when I was pretty much just born, and that really was the first connection with the water, with the ocean. I didn't love the sport right away. That was not my first love, and I just learned how to, you know, do it better and get better at the sport. And it's a passion at the same time. It's also a good job. So yeah, I was able to really connect the dots. There are so many moments when we are out there in the ocean that are, you know, bringing back so many great memories. But definitely my first race around the world in 17, 18. I remember the first time that I turned around and there was like no land anymore. I'm like, that's what it means, you know, being really out here in the middle of the ocean, seeing just the horizon and not having land on sight anymore. And that memory is just, it really stuck with me. And I still really love it. It's one of the parts that I love the most, probably. Just, you know, start the race and slowly you know, don't see land anymore, and you know you're in your happy place. There's been a lot of challenges, as you know, as a sailor and as a person. I think we're all human beings and we go through successes and challenges and struggles. But you know, for me it was really about especially growing up, like representation. I didn't have a lot of, you know, female sailors that I could look up for, and especially in the offshore industry. Like in Italy, everything seemed just so far away. We had, you know, Dee Caffari and Helen MacArthur and maybe like, you know, Maiden and some US sailors, but there was no Italian female sailor doing more than just Olympic classes. So representation at the beginning was something quite, you know, I saw it as a barrier. Like, I mean, if no one is doing it, how can I be the one doing it? That's a good one. I don't know. Actually, I think a lot of people don't know that I've been in the Italian Air Force for 10 years. And I know that that's something that is, in Italy is quite common in the sport industry, to have a lot of athletes being part of the armed forces. I was not like a fancy pilot like Top Gun, okay? So just, you know, something a bit easier, but still. I'm actually really excited to go racing and race with Team Malizia in the Ocean Race Europe. I've been racing in the Ocean Race twice, but actually I never raced in the Ocean Race Europe before, so I'm really excited. It's shorter, it's really high intensity racing, and I'm really looking forward to, you know, enjoying time on the water with the team, learn from everybody, learn the boat and how to push it. No, first of all, I mean, I'm super keen to race with a pretty high performing team, but the same with really nice human beings, you know, like the industry has a bit of mix of people. But I think Team Malizia really bring the fun and the light aspect of also, you know, this is an amazing opportunity for everybody to go out and sailing. You know, we could be just closed in an office for 6 hours a day, or we can also just enjoy being out there in the ocean. And I think Boris and the entire team was able to bring together a really interesting team, even in the last ocean race. And I think they want to keep that philosophy that is really nice. And then at the same time, I'm going to purchase the boat, the Malizia Free, the boat that Boris just sailed around the world and around the globe. And for me, it's an incredible opportunity to be able to race with the same team that knows the boat so well, that built the boat, and know pretty much every secret inside out. Hopefully I can get all the secrets so I can push it really hard also when I'm gonna be by my own. But it's an amazing collaboration, and I'm really looking forward to start it, you know, with the entire team around, and slowly transition more into my own campaign, but you know, still be in the shed with everybody and share so much knowledge, and having to work with the entire technical team that did an incredible work in the last few years. Yeah, I really love to work with other people. I really enjoy being in a team setup, and I think overall I'm a pretty easy person to deal with, so I'm not too much of a pain on a boat. I think it's a good, it's a good skill to have when you're surrounded by other people. But at the same time, I gained quite a lot of experience in the last few years. I already sailed around the world twice in the last 2 ocean races, and one already on the IMOCA, and I think I really love to push. I really like the performance side of the racing, and I think I can bring that strength that I definitely built it through all the years of, you know, dinghies and Olympic sailing, and that mentality of like trying to gain every inch and every day, you know, you keep pushing is it's something that I really enjoy to bring in the team, with a smile, without being too hard. I think actually one really interesting part of Team Malizia that I didn't find in other teams, even how the team get called, you know, normally you have like the skipper and the crew, and I think it's really nice how about the idea of having, you know, co-skippers alongside the skipper, especially now with the IMOCA. Is, yes, you're sailing crewed, but it's quite short-handed. So everybody on board at the end has to pretty much do everything, and you're not just get hired to be only a trimmer or only a bow person. Like, there's too much work to do all the time. So I think it really changed a bit the way also how we build teams. I think there is a lot of back and forth. You bring certain experience, and hopefully you get other experience back, and you keep building your career through everything that you learn in the journey. Eating Haribos. That's a bad and a good thing. I have my little pocket, in my little pocket, a little bag of Haribos that I really love. I think in a cruise setup, it's really important to also know your limitation, and when you are a bit on the edge, and you know that you're not able to push anymore at the level that you would like to push, is always so important to ask someone else, you know, hey, come here, I think I'm not able to get, you know, good numbers anymore. What do you think? What can we do better? That's the incredible advantage to have other sailors around you. And you know, every time that you're sailing either double-handed or solo, you don't have that advantage. So I think it's really nice to be able to use that. I think the Ocean Race Europe overall as a race is really intense. Sometimes I like to think about it like the last few legs in the big ocean race, you know, when you come back to Europe and you have this like few days legs, and you always think, okay, we're gonna make our watch system and stick with the watch system, and then you're like, right, you go around rocks and stuff, and all the boats are so close together that at the end you just, you know, you're gonna sleep when you get ashore pretty much. And I think that's a really fun way to race. I found it really exciting, and probably where I can also like give the most as a bit more like inshore racer. And you know, I love the boat against boat situation where you can really get relatives with someone else, and what can we do better, you know, to match or go even faster. So I think it's really exciting. It's a nice question because I'm really excited to get, of course, in Genova, in Italy, because I have amazing memories from, of course, the last ocean race when we won the race. And I'm Italian, and I remember it was so crazy. The amount of people and the support, I never saw it before. And you feel almost, you know, like, are we like soccer players here? You know, they want photos with us. It's crazy. But then I'm really, really excited to the stopover in Cartagena in Spain. I lived in Spain for a few years. I have a bit of history there, and it's just so nice. I know the town really, really well, and it's quite exciting to come in with a boat. You know, I always being in Cartagena, seeing the port, seeing the hills, the mountain from the land, and having the opportunity to like come in from the water, it would be really, really nice. I have a funny fact. When I went from Olympic sailing into offshore racing, I always been part of projects where the core message and the core campaign was about sustainability. And at the beginning, I didn't even think about it. You know, I was in a campaign where there was a lot of raising awareness about plastic in the ocean. And then with 11-hour racing, it was again about ocean health. And now with Team Malizia, it's about, you know, ocean health and climate change and how can we do more for our planet. And I was like, yes. I always been involved in project that has so much more than just a commercial, you know, value out there, or you're trying to sell a product, or, you know, you're actually trying to really sell a strong message, and you're trying to sell what we have the ability to see, and finding solution with the community that you're part of. And I think it's really special to be part of a team that has strong values in sustainability, because at the end the issues are real. We see them with our own eyes every day. When we go sailing, it's even worse. And I think being able to bring that back and be like, okay, this is what we're seeing out there. This is all the solution that we have, that we could make it better, and bringing that to a wider community that is following sailing, that is following the skippers, is so, so important.